What is up, guys? Welcome back to the verse for another awesome live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about DragonX, and as most of you guys know, I love DragonX. I love talking about this ecosystem. I love talking about projects. I love looking at data, technical analysis, and all the cool stuff that keeps you guys coming into this live stream. But tonight, we got a really special guest. We're going to be talking about a nullcoin project that actually launched on DragonX at the beginning when DragonX first rolled out. And I want to welcome to the stage a developer and a really good friend, James. How are we doing today, sir?
All good here. Chaos, Chris. It is fantastic to be here. I love just listening in on your streams. It doesn't matter what you're talking about, whether it's inside or outside DragonX, the energy you bring, it's wonderful. And I'm so glad to be back. Is this my second or third time? I think it's just my second. Feels like I've been here a while now.
Yeah, man. No, I mean, hey, I do appreciate you because, you connected me to a couple people in the past. I can't remember. There was one project on Pulse Chain.
I know who it was. It was Spark Swap, right? It was AJ.
It was Spark Swap, and then you connected me to someone else as well. It was like an Elon Musk narrative, man, dude. I've done gosh, Blastar. I think you were the one that connected Blastar. So yeah, man.
I was in Blastar, and there was a guy named Ian Heinisch, or I can't get that name right. I don't know if I was the final connector for you, but I did try to connect you to them because I love that. In fact, I took some of that motivation and inspiration to do some things to build on base after I was in Blastar. I made a pretty penny in Blastar. It was fun. Spread the tax around, tax the token highly, and give it to the holders. What a wonderful concept.
What a wonderful concept. I love it. You know, Blastar was an awesome meme coin, and I think it really set the stage for what we're seeing not only on Pulse Chain, but also in the DragonX ecosystem. Because I've been saying this time in, time again. There's a good chance that we might be going for a meme coin run on top of DragonX. And you were one of the first people to launch a meme coin. So before we get into Baby DragonX, what's your thoughts on meme coins, and how do you think they're going to be how do you think they're going to perform in this market?
Yeah, so I love meme coins. There's all points of view on meme coins. Some people think that everybody's got an opinion. My opinion is that meme coins are fun, meme coins are easy, and they're easy. It's nice to identify with something. Like the first one, you got Jake X there. You got little baby Jake. You got him smoking a cigarette. You got him riding on a dragon. It's just kind of cool. And then it's super early and it's super easy. Sophisticated protocols are wonderful. You got the lobbies and you got the minting percentages. That's cool. But when you got a meme coin, you just buy it. You just hold it. And you just pop a meme out there on Twitter. So that was the first one. The second one was actually not Baby DragonX. The second one was TBTC, Titan Bitcoin. Right? That was the official second one. It was kind of a sleeper. A Docs team launched it, and I just bought some 2 days ago actually. Baby DragonX was the third one, and I like it because it's simple. It's easy to understand. It's fun. You pop out some art there. You get your narrative. Easy to make partnerships. You're not competing with other people. You can just fit right in with others. So I think meme coins are going to have a big play. They're already having a big play in this one.
That's interesting. Yeah, I had no idea about Titan Bitcoin until a couple of days ago. I think Ali posted something.
Right.
I don't know what happened with that, because I thought I would have heard about, because JKX came up. So here's what I last remember during the hype phase. So we had this massive hype phase. JKX just popped out of nowhere, and then we had the inflation set in with DragonX, and most people were just kind of sitting there. They didn't know what was going on, and they said, all right, we're just moving on to the meme coins on Base and Solana. And then I guess that thing just snuck right in there, because I remember talking to you about launching Baby DragonX. So it's really interesting. Now, as for meme coins, what's your view about them being used as marketing tools?
My God, there's nothing better. that's like asking, what's the what do you think about gasoline for a campfire? What's your thoughts on that? It's literally the same thing. Meme coins are the fire, which it's so easy to ignite things. If you don't have too much going on, You can launch a meme coin, a little bit of narrative. All of a sudden, there's X's. Green candles are the best marketing, and all that kind of stuff. And then you can pop a meme coin out of anywhere, and you can make whatever kind of memes you want. You can have the community weigh in. They can build their own memes. It's really easy to involve people with meme coins. Yeah. So that's my view on that one.
I agree 100%. I think meme coins are going to be the best marketing. I also believe that in the future, a lot of blockchains are going to take all their marketing funds and use meme coins instead of going and paying for ads on TV, because nobody watches TV. And then if you go on YouTube, most people pay for YouTube Premium, so they skip out on ads. So ads and all this stuff, it doesn't work that way. So you either have to go through some sort of influencer or through some sort of meme coin, and that's just the future. And what I love about that is you did a little bit of front running in the future with Baby DragonX on top of the Tinex ecosystem. So for those of us who don't know, give us a little breakdown. What is Baby DragonX?
Yeah, so Baby DragonX started as a concept by a co-founder. So one of the co-founders, back then I was I was very active in Titanx and on X, right? And I was going to build something, this kind of ideation there, and I had a lot of people reach out to me. Would you like to build this? Like, here's an idea, and all this type of thing. So, but one person reached out, and I really liked his thought process. He was kind of a quiet guy. He's out of Australia, ANZ. He said, I want to do something with Dragon. I said, all right, Dragon. Yeah, we can do that. He said, and I like the Luck Dragon. I had to think about it. What's the Luck Dragon? That was the big white dragon with a dog face. And I liked about it. I liked everything about it. That thing that morphed, and I needed some dev resources because we wanted to do something a little sophisticated. So I reached out to Eric of DragonX. Eric of DragonX, as you know, he's very good at tokenomics. He's got a very solid dev team. I think they're brothers. I think he's mentioned on stream. And he gave us some great ideas on tokenomics. They had like the 12 weeks for minting. Came down that we did a 2-week step, 1 week and then 1 week for a fair launch mint period. It was not easy, it wasn't super easy because gas skyrocketed. Gwei went from whatever 50, 60 up to like 200. All of a sudden, it cost 40, 50, 80, even $100 to mint Baby DragonX. $100. So
Wow.
I wanted to find a way to help people get through that because not everybody wants to mint $1,000 worth of your token. Some people want to mint $100 or $200 worth. They're not going to do it for $100 of gas. So I had this idea. Sometimes you get your best ideas in the shower or when you're exercising. And I thought, what if I pay for people's gas? What if they mint and they send me the transaction and we pay their ETH, pay their gas in ETH? Because we got a marketing wallet. We had a Genesis wallet for 3%. We had a marketing and expenses wallet for 5%. And we had another wallet for like 6 or 7%. We used all of it. We used all of it to pay for all the gas. So we had a decent showing. We had about 55, 65 people mint. It wasn't the 200 or 300 that we thought we would get, but it was fun. Like it was a lot of work, and I was able to connect directly with people because if they're gonna jump in your Telegram and do a special private group, they're gonna send their wallet to you. That kind of doxes them. And I said, don't worry about this. No one will ever see this. It's a private file only for me, and I'm going to delete this after we're done. So we paid everybody back their gas, and then which I did too, right? And we can get into the story about how long did it sit there at 47,000 market cap. Felt like forever, and then the breakthrough happened. So that's kind of the backstory of it. It was not totally my idea at the beginning. Great idea about little baby dragon. It's going to be the little brother, the little cousin of Big Dragon, main DragonX. And we took a lot of their tokenomics. We didn't take their tokenomics. Eric suggested them. He helped craft them with us. So shout out to Eric. No matter what you think about Eric, I think he's a great guy. I think he's like super, super intelligent when it comes to this stuff. He sees opportunities and he goes for it. And if you want to participate with him, just reach out. He is very approachable. That's what I would say.
I love it, man. First off, Eric is a phenomenal developer. created DragonX. He's working on Hydra, and he continues to build on top of this ecosystem because he believes in it. And what I love what you did is you went into an ecosystem that hasn't really proven itself, built a branded meme coin, because when DragonX does its thing, Baby DragonX could potentially be a mascot behind DragonX. Don't get me wrong, DragonX is memeable, but I firmly believe if you just take a look at Baby DragonX, and let me do a quick screen share.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same things. Yeah, go ahead, screen share.
Yeah, so if you just look at this right here, this is easily memeable. Like when I go on Base and Solana, the way I find the best meme coins is I look at it, I'm like, okay, what will people like? And just this little baby alone sells itself. So I really do like it. And then also on top of that, you guys are building a brand. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is the DAO. So you guys set up a DAO. So what kind of stuff are we working with in the DAO? What do you guys plan to build on top of Baby DragonX?
Yeah. So I got in Titan X on day 33. And of course, like everyone else, you always wish you were in earlier, but that's fine. Day 33 was still a fantastic time to enter. So back then, I noticed some really interesting things. There was a lot of flexibility. You could start your miners, you could stake. DragonX was brewing here in the background. Some other things were going on. And I kept hearing things, I'm a Zenian. Like, I don't think I'm an ex-Zenian. I'm a Zenian. So I believe in these things about fair principles. And I believe in community being able to weigh in and, help make decisions or at least be heard. So it's really hard to be heard in Telegram or on X. If the founding team wants to get opinions, they can run a poll, but then maybe not everyone sees the poll. And maybe a lot of people vote on the poll who don't participate in the protocol. So I thought a DAO would be perfect, but I don't want to complicate a DAO because I'm not a complicated guy, and I don't think our community wants complicated stuff. So I reached out to the dude who I council member for Helios. Just shout out to those guys; they're incredible. And I said to the dude, you keep talking about building having a DAO. What are you going to do? He said, go to snapshot.org. It's basically DAO for dummies, like DAO for dummies. So you get a snapshot.org, you connect your wallet, you read read a document in there, and then you can set your DAO up, and then you can run proposals. We ran a test proposal just to see how it worked, and it's very easy. So I was able to run, get that set up. We were the first one. We were the first DAO running in all of Titan X ecosystem. Helios, right afterwards, just within a week or two, they had theirs all set up. And I'm sure there will be more of those. I'm sure that more protocols will have a DAO in some form or fashion. You don't have to have a DAO, but I think it's good to get the pulse of your community, because if a person or if a wallet holds one DragonX, Baby DragonX, or it holds 1,000, or it holds 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 or 10,000,000,000, the amount of DragonX, Baby DragonX they hold is how much their voting power is. So we have a lot of funds. I think I alluded to this at the beginning. When we first started, our rewards wallet, I think, was probably about $4,000. You can't do much with $4,000 anywhere in the real world or in crypto. Right. And then our grant wallet, grant was like $1,100. What are you going to do with these things? And I remember getting on the spaces. I love Plan A and the Mike Dean space on Sunday night. I joined almost all of those. And for a while there, I kept having to say the same thing. We don't have a lot of money because we don't have a lot of market cap. Stay tuned for day 369. I kept saying that over and over and over again. Luckily, some things popped early. So now I would not want to be the only person who's in charge of $190,000 of future rewards money or $93,000 of grant money. I wouldn't want to be the only person responsible for that. By the way, just one quick thing about grant. So we sold all of the Baby DragonX through single-sided liquidity. We had 3.7 billion Baby DragonX. That equated to about $49,000. Still a lot of money. We swapped it into DragonX, right? Single-sided liquidity, never hit the chart. And I noticed the DragonX kept going up, like the ratio kept going up. So I decided not to swap everything to ETH into USDC. A portion of it I went into ETH and USDC. So that 48,000 turned into 55,000 to 65,000 to 80,000. We took a DAO vote. We moved $10,000 to marketing, and all of a sudden we have $93,000 in the grant wallet. We have twice as much as we had, and we've already paid for things and done things. So I'm happy, not because I think that we're geniuses. I'm happy because crypto enables you to do things you never imagined you could do before.
That's an amazing story. And now that you got some funds and you managed to pull that out in a way where it doesn't impact the price of the token,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. It's absolutely genius. And now you got some dry powder to rock with. So
Oh, yes.
well, so let's just get into the details, man. I'm glad you told the story, but I'm curious, like what we got building on top of DragonX? We got like a staking protocol. Do we got a matrix? Do we got like what we got going here?
Yeah, so we ran a kind of an open, we ran a VC in the Telegram, and we collected a lot of ideas, I think something like 15 or 18 of them. We went through them. I wanted to make sure that anything we build has sustainability, and it's good for Baby DragonX, and it's not, and the juice is worth the squeeze. Have you ever heard that? Is
Yes.
the juice worth the squeeze? Is the effort worth what you're going to get out of it? So we asked these 3 questions about all the proposals, and we boiled it down to only 3 of those. All the proposals turned out to be pretty good. One of them is called Scale. So, and you can actually go into our Telegram, just click one or two of the pinned messages, and you'll see a document called DAO proposal. It's openly viewable by anybody who wants to hit that. So the Scale protocol was the brainchild of one or two OGs in the ecosystem in Baby DragonX, and basically it's going to be, the tokens are going to be used for minting. It'll either be Titanx, maybe some Hyper. You'll be able to mint those into the new protocol of Scale. You'll be able to do things with that, right? There's going to be a grant pool, there's going to be marketing, and this one is going to have a sell tax. There's no buy tax. You brought up Blastar in the beginning. I'm glad you did. So there's going to be a little bit of a sell tax there. And the sell tax is going to be buy and burn, and there's going to be reflections. So you hold this new token, all of a sudden you're going to get some reflections. Now, the protocol is not 100% built out because we want to vote on the concept. We're going to be voting on this in the next, we hope, 12 hours. So we're going to run a DAO proposal vote on Scale. The second protocol up on the docket is one that was only recently named, and that one is called Rune, R-U-N-E. We'll probably keep that name. This is going to be a super simple one. It's also going to be a minting protocol. It's going to have very few bells and whistles, but it is going to be massively buy and burn and liquidity web for Baby DragonX. Massive on that one. So that one is a very, very simple one. It's going to be easy to launch that one because the DragonX code is, it's very easy to fork. I own that code. I paid for it. So that one is just a super simple meme. There's going to be some bells and whistles on that. We want to do more than just have like a cool, like a rune or an egg, like magic on these eggs. We want something a little special with these eggs and an NFT component. So there's out for a vote. There's going to be a vote for Scale. There's going to be a vote for Rune. And we just finished a vote for Element 280. Have you streamed with the dude about Element 280 yet or not?
We're going to be streaming on Sunday, so I was going to ask him about Element 280.
Yeah.
So,
well, I will let him, because that guy is very eloquent. He is very, very good at talking about it. All I'll say is that Baby DragonX is now 1/3 owner of Element 280. So I am one of the 3 founders there with the dude, and I said, instead of James capturing a stream of revenue, of this protocol, we've got funds in Baby DragonX. What if the community, we put it up for a vote, and we have an instant stream of revenue? We can buy 1/3 of this. We can just buy it directly from me, whatever my third was. It was resounding vote. 100% of the people who voted all voted for, or almost all of them voted to own the whole 33%, because there were 3 options. One option was own my third, The second option was own half of my third. The third option was just participate, just buy, $3,000 of NFTs, participate, still get a stream of revenue. Everybody. So who did he stream with first? He streamed with was it the Mo, maybe? Whoever he streamed with first.
Oh, you talking about the dude like
the dude.
for Element 280?
Yeah.
That was with the Mo.
He streamed well. I can't wait to get on with the Mo. The Mo is what I have a lot of favorite people, by the way, Chris. He is one of my favorite people. So
he's in here right now.
Look at the Mo. Look at that. He's in there. And I was just on your stream with Rudy earlier. I popped in there while I was getting ready over here, having my morning coffee and listening to you to get all juiced up. So suffice it to say that there was so much excitement in the Baby DragonX Telegram. People couldn't stop talking about Element 280. What's this thing over here? Like, we don't have to build it. We could just buy part of it, and all of a sudden we got a revenue stream. We put it to a DAO vote. Boom. The votes rolled in, and it was done.
I love it, man.
Yeah. I want, so, just to jump ahead there, I want Baby DragonX to be its own little powerhouse. It's its own little business. I bootstrapped the whole thing, didn't have 2 pennies to scratch to my name back in the early of the year. And now Baby DragonX can fund things. It can buy into protocols. It can create a nice revenue stream. We can do reflections that come back. The sky's the limit here, guys. And ladies, the sky's the limit.
So let's unpack some of the stuff. So that was a lot of information, and thank you for the breakdown. So for those guys who don't know what Element 280 is, Element 280 is a protocol that's that the dude was working on, and he just announced that Baby DragonX is part owner. Basically, how it's set up is it's an ERC 404 standard protocol where you have tokens and then you have these NFTs that can be converted from tokens. The NFTs have a revenue share through the protocol, and the tokens are going to be LP'd up with every single Titan X altcoin. And so the idea is you're building this massive web of liquidity through one token and bringing all the altcoins together, and then you make Element 280 deflationary, so it creates an ever expanding price floor. And so what James is saying is the Baby DragonX protocol is 1/3 owner of that entire protocol, which is absolutely huge. Now let's talk about Rune real quick. I want to unpack Rune, and then we'll unpack Scale. So Rune specifically, you're saying you're building out a liquidity web. So are you going to start with Baby DragonX, then have a token behind it, and then 2 tokens under that token? Is that what you're thinking? Something like a Tropo PDI?
Yeah. It very much is. And thank you for all this ideation that you pop over into my DMs, because that's fantastic. Some of this was already being talked about. It depends on how much participation we have of how big of a liquidity web we can make. So we are not going to redo the nice sophistication that Element 280 is doing. We're not doing that. This one is meant to, whatever the raise is, we are going to have an amount that we'll be able to do some liquidity webs. Say that we get $100,000 of participation. We could probably do 2 or 3 nice ones, plus have some funds in the background to do some burning and buy and burns and such. If we get a lot higher participation, say we get 200,000, we can even do more. Then we'll run a DAO vote, and it'll be pick all of the above that you want to pair with, and people will be able to select. Do you want to pair with, Inferno? Do you want to pair with Hyper? You want to pair with what's the new one, Viper? All these, like all these things. We'll run it on the DAO. Some people might say the DAO is not the best way to choose technical decisions. Well, I believe the community knows what they want. And if we make a move that didn't quite work out, we are very flexible. We're not going to create LPs and lock them and burn the tokens. We're not going to do that. We're going to create these things and see if they work, see if they create revenue for the protocol. If it works well, we keep them. If it doesn't work well, we move them.
Right.
That's the idea.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think the best way to really do this is draw it out. I find that when you draw things out, it makes a lot more sense to people. So here's how Baby DragonX, and these are the ways you trade into Baby DragonX. So you start here at TitanX, and of course you gotta get wrapped ETH, but this is gonna get really cluttered. So we'll start at TitanX. Then you go to DragonX, and I'm just gonna call this DBX. I don't want to write out DragonX.
Right.
So we got DBX, and then we go down here, and then this is Baby DragonX. So the best way to think about this is the first level is TitanX, second level is DragonX, and then Baby DragonX is a third level to the TitanX liquidity web. So that's how you can really think about these tokens. Now, what element, and so parallel to all these projects, not only do we have DragonX over here, we got Helios, HLX, and then on this side we'll have like Blaze, and then I'm not gonna write out every single protocol, but
because there's
I
so
think
many of them, like it just fills up the page at this point.
Right. And so the key to understanding all of this is where element 280 comes in. So I'm gonna call this E280. So 280. So what E280 is going to do in this yellow right here, it's going to pair up with Helios, it's going to pair up with DragonX, and then it's going to pair up with Blaze, and then it's going to pair up to Baby DragonX. And this token right here, it's going to just get burned. I don't know if that looks like fire, but yeah, burned. So the theory is if this becomes scarce, it's going to add value to Blaze, DragonX, Helios, Baby DragonX, the entire ecosystem. So Element 280 is going to be your version of a Titan X ETF. That's the best way to think about it. Decentralized ETF, not like centralized. But you guys,
right?
Now here's my question with the LPs. So are you going to launch a token behind Baby DragonX? Or are you just going to take Baby DragonX and web it with like something like Blaze or Helios?
So Scale and Rune will be liquidity. They'll be liquidity web participants in kind of the smaller liquidity web of Baby DragonX, because we got Baby DragonX, which is full. Our primary pair is DragonX, and then we'll have Scale and we'll have Rune. The question comes, which one are you going to launch first? Well, we'll probably launch the easier one first. Rune is probably the easier one. It's less sophisticated. As we see how this works, the ARB bots will get in there and such. Probably E280 will be launched. I'll let Dude talk about when that thing's going to be launched. So we don't want to launch right after someone else. Like, if E280 launches on a Tuesday, we don't want to launch on a Wednesday. Give people time to get in there. Give people time to participate. And there's going to be a bunch of protocols launching between next week and October 31st, like day 369. There's going to be a lot of them. So there's a founders chat, and we're going to use that founders chat to make sure we don't step on other people, give everybody plenty of space to get in there. I envision that Scale and Rune will give a lot of arbitration opportunities and just increase the overall liquidity for Baby DragonX. And the sell tax is going to make Baby DragonX more deflationary. So let's just say, for example, that with Scale, you use TitanX to mint your Scale. So you've got the percentages of the TitanX that is used. We buy DragonX with that, and then we use that DragonX in the protocol. So everything we do, number one, we want to pump DragonX. That's the big brother. The better that DragonX does, the better Baby DragonX does. We also want to have mechanisms to possibly send DragonX to their vault. We're deciding how that one would actually work. We also want to buy and burn Baby DragonX. We also want to lock more Baby DragonX into liquidity. Everything we do with Scale and Rune will benefit the protocols. Everything.
Gotcha. All right. So just breaking this down. So like I told you guys, we have TitanX, DragonX, Baby DragonX, and then we have a fourth level. It's going to be Scale and Rune, and the utility is going to be determined. But the theory is to assist this entire structure. So when James talks about arbitrage bots, basically it's like a piece of software you run on the blockchain, And when you go through these trading pools, so most of you guys have seen liquidity pools with like Helios and Inferno, and then you have like Helios and TitanX. In each of these pools, there's a different price of Helios. And when you have a difference in price, and so say, for example, Helios is a penny in one pool and it's half a penny in another pool, what would happen is an arbitrage bots will take Helios in one pool that's worth a penny and sell it in the half a penny pool to make a 2x profit. It's called arbitrage bots. And this is something that Atropa did extremely well when it came to stabilizing PDI during the pegging. Now, what Scale and Rune is going to do is they're going to be right behind Baby DragonX, and you got these arbitrage bots running through the TitanX ecosystem. And so if you add a sales tax to these tokens, it's going to tax these arbitrage bots and then use it to benefit the protocol. So the theory is if you had, like, for example, Scale had a 5% DragonX tax, when arbitrage bots comes in, buys this up and goes back out, then when they pay that fee, it could be used to burn DragonX. I'm not saying that's going to be one of the utilities, but just in theory. So what James and his crew and the DAO are trying to do is create this thick liquidity web coming through here, with starting off with Scale and Room and maybe scaling down. And the reason why this is important, and I want to make this really clear, this is like a decentralized bank account in a way, where when you have money flowing through, a lot of it's going to come into this sector of the ecosystem and it's going to build up. And over time, as it builds up, as the TitanX ecosystem continues to grow, it's going to create this thick price floor that's going to assist not only Baby DragonX, but DragonX. James, would you say that's a fair explanation?
That is such a good explanation that I'm going to rewatch this recording and I'm going to use it next time.
I got you, man. I appreciate it.
It's really good cast, Chris. You do a fantastic job. When I first saw Mike Dean use these drawings, like sometimes he draws them out beforehand and then he freehands it kind of just the way that you've done it in there. The visual is incredible, like the way you do this. It would be very difficult for somebody to explain these circles, make any sense. But when you draw it there, you can kind of see, oh, this is connected over here. Oh, Baby DragonX is in the middle. You got Rune, you got Scale. All right, these are connected. All right, now I get it. So yeah, you've got it. You've actually got it.
Awesome. Yeah. You know, I really like this liquidity web theory, and I know you guys are trying to still figure out, like, actually, I'm gonna bring that back up. I know you guys are still trying to figure out what's going on with Scale or Rune, but in theory, if you guys see how this goes and you continue to build and say, we'll call this like token X, Y, and I'm just going to call this Z, and then let's just do W, and we'll just do that. So if you're able to build this thick liquidity web just coming through, and the main route is TitanX, Baby DragonX, Baby DragonX, and then you got this deep level of fifth level, I think in the end, when TitanX goes deflationary, a lot of money is going to get stored behind your system, and it's going to really, really assist with the price appreciation of DragonX. So in theory, I love it. I think it's a new it's another approach to Tropa within this ecosystem. Now, I know most of you guys are saying, well, Chris, well, we're seeing JakeX and Inferno and Blaze, they're all LPing together. That is true. The LPing together is extremely beneficial, but the difference with this is you got one gateway into this ecosystem. Let me do a different color. Let's do this teal. So you have one gateway into this ecosystem. So DragonX, Baby DragonX, Scale, Z, or YX, you guys get the point. And because you only have one gateway into this ecosystem, that's where you're going to earn a bunch of fees. That's where you're going to see the price for expand, and that's where you're going to see the main benefit of this type of liquidity web. So I think all in all, just to make this really clear, because I know a lot of you guys are very confused. The theory behind these liquidity webs is all about building a price floor. If it stores a bunch of money that's coming in and it locks it away, then it keeps the price of the token at a certain level. as to what that price is, that is very hard to determine. I had found ways to figure it out when it comes to Pulschain and PDI and Atropa, but for TINX, this is a complete different beast. James, did you want to say something? You look like you wanted to say something.
No, I'm just, as you talk about PDI and Atropa, and you haven't mentioned the Gray's currency. I don't think you've mentioned it yet. So I wasn't early enough in that one. Can you believe I wasn't early enough in that one? I was a big Zen holder. I was a day one Zenian. My first C rank was 556. Who cares? But to me, I care because it was nice and early. And then PTGC, if you had your Zen, you could do some type of, I don't think it was called a sacrifice. I didn't get in that thing early because I didn't know about it. But I love the concept of it. I love what they also did. And I started really learning about ARB bots. And I started learning that they create a lot of extra volume. And if you got a little bit of a sales tax over there, those ARB bots are creating revenue for you, the human. We get to capture that economic energy that those bots are going out there and doing much faster than you and I can click those buttons. They just look at the price and go in and do it. They go in and they buy it, they sell it, they swap it out. So yeah. It's really impressive. I am, there's a lot of people who are kind of anti-bot. And bots can be annoying and they can get in the way of launches for sure. But bots are your friend when it comes to volume generation. So if you know how to play them right, somebody got banned. Uh-oh, whoops. Somebody got kicked out. We got slid away. Good view over there. Let me. Crypto is a bit of the wild west. You have to learn as you go. What you know today may not be applicable tomorrow. Like you've got to really learn about these new things.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's one of these things where you just gotta keep staying on it, continue to learn. And the one thing one of the biggest things that made me level up in crypto was coming from a position saying that I don't know everything, but I want to learn as much rather than say I know everything. I should just go with what I preset across this bull market, because originally when I came in right around, I think it was like 2018, 2019, got in, we saw Matic, Hex, and all these other projects are like, okay, boom. And then rolling into this bull market, dude, this one's a meme coin run. And I see a lot of utility guys sitting on the sideline. They're just like, yo, what am I doing? And they refuse to update their worldview. So with crypto, it is a solo sport, but it's one of those sports where you can't have a huge ego, because if you have a huge ego, you will burn yourself in this industry. So that's the only thing I love. And that's one thing I love with what you guys were doing with Baby DragonX. Now, let's just take a quick look at the price chart, because this is actually.
Oh, you want to look at the price? Look at the chart. I think I look at that thing 100 a day. I love to see that thing go up and down. So go ahead. You can pull that chart up and make your comments about it. Let me just say that if only Baby DragonX had a tiny little tax, if only it had just even like a 0.25 buy or sell tax in there, we could have earned so much fees to run things. Like we could even have more funds to be able to give back.
Yeah.
So the next one's will. But go ahead, take a look at this chart. I love to listen to your analysis, Chris, because you teach me things when you go through these. So please talk to me about the protocol. What do you see?
I see a chart that just went absolutely nuclear. So I love it, man. This is looking pretty good. So let's just get a ballpark of the ROI on this real quick. All right, so ROI from the height, 132x. Holy smokes!
Did we actually make the 132? Like, I think you're better at these charts than me. I did it manually, and I kept thinking 89x. So you're seeing 132?
Yeah, from the tippy top to the tippy top. So from the bottom to the top, it was right around 132x, and where it's sitting at right now is about a 72x. So you guys did a 132x. That's pretty awesome. Love it. So just taking a look at this chart, looks really healthy. Actually looks phenomenal. Came up, came down, just trading sideways. And one thing I will say, and just identifying this right here, we're getting into an area called the box of opportunity. And when I say box of opportunity, not financial advice, but right here, when it's just trading sideways like that, that's the best time where you want to actually come in and start making moves if you so choose to get in this protocol, not financial advice. So yeah, man. So what I suspect is it's going to trade sideways and go across here. Now, some things that I wanted to ask you about, and this one came across. Oh, well, that is way too straight. So with the liquidity, we have the liquidity sitting about 47, 48%. Was there a reason why you had the liquidity so thick?
Well, let's go back. Let's wind the clock back, as I like to say. So when we wind the clock back to kind of early on, within a week or two after the protocol launched, the market cap was 35 to 55,000, and the liquidity is about 21k, 21,000, 22,000. Literally, you could buy the whole protocol with some people in their wallet had enough to buy the whole protocol. Of course, they didn't, because nobody knew what was going to turn into. We had the option in early on. So Eric, as I've mentioned before, is extremely good at tokenomics, and he gave some very good mentoring and guidance about what he gave me some options about here's how you could do it. I wanted to have nice, thick liquidity. So I think we started off with 200 million DragonX, and then maybe it was 40 or 50% of the BDX. I just wanted a nice amount. Like, I didn't care about the market cap. I didn't care about the market cap looking like it's 5x or 10x larger than kind of really is. I wanted thick liquidity so it's easier for the trades to come in and out. And it turns out that we made some good decisions there. We made some good decisions. It was lucky. It was my first one, but I wanted to do something that made it easier for trades. I didn't care about the top end number. I wanted to make it easier for a community to participate. That was my thought, Chris.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah, I appreciate your honesty, and yeah, man. I was curious because so when it comes to liquidity, it's a double-edged sword. So if it's really really thin, the price pumps crazy, but you pay a lot of slippage, and it's hard for whales to get in. If it's really really thick, you don't pay that much slippage. It's easy for whales to get in, but you're going to need a lot of money to move the price of the token. So, like I said, it is a double-edged sword, and I think in this scenario, it makes sense to have a thick liquidity versus DragonX, because DragonX is an absolute mooner, and we'll look at that price chart in a second. But the big thing is, let's look at the ratio versus DragonX.
Yeah.
So when Baby DragonX was going on a run, it actually did a 10x versus DragonX. Holy smokes. Wow. So I can't remember what the ROI on DragonX was last time I checked. I think it just did 100x. So I need to do some math behind it, but the theory is, I'll tell you how this chart's working. So Baby DragonX is trading sideways versus DragonX. So that means it's just following the price. That's what that means. And then right around August 8th, it went up a 10x versus DragonX. So as the price of DragonX continues to go up, the price of Baby DragonX went up 10x that position. So if DragonX did a 10x, if you're running Baby DragonX, you actually did 100x from that period of time. That's how that worked. And then now it's coming back down, and it's trading close to 1-1 with DragonX. So that's basically what the chart says. And what this chart tells me is that Baby DragonX is trading extremely closely to DragonX, but also we're starting to see more people get in, and we're starting to see people make moves, and ultimately it looks pretty good. Now, the other thing I also want to say is you did do a single-sided LP to go into DragonX, so you have funds for the wallet. So that's probably part of the reason why you see. So this is a gravestone doji. So anytime you see a gravestone doji in crypto, you're gonna see this towards the top of crypto right here. These things right here. If you ever see that, you run for the hills. Don't ever let anyone tell you that, hey, this chart's coming back. If you see that right there, you get out, you run, you don't listen to them, and whoever told you that, you
don't look back,
block
run as fast as you can. All right, good advice.
Yeah, that is the worst candle you can ever see. And if it's one of your best friends telling you get in, don't be friends with them anymore. I'm just kidding. But so Gravestone Doji came down, and came down. So what I'm seeing here right now is there's a great ratio trade for Baby DragonX since it's dropping down 1-to-1 to DragonX. And with the protocols coming out, this actually might be a great potential. See
That's
what I'm
what we're
saying?
thinking. Yeah, and we're we are opening up. We'll be in your DMs, Chris. We will be in Eric's DMs, and there's a couple other really good tokenomics OGs, I guess what you call it in Titanx ecosystem. We're going to take the best of their advice and launch these. In the amount of liquidity to start with, and how to pair things. We're going to take as much good advice as we can. We're not the geniuses over at Baby DragonX. We like to listen, and we like to take good advice. So that's what's going to happen there. We just want to create great value for Baby DragonX holders. Yes, that 132x. Thank you for pulling that thing up. 132x is fantastic. We would like to reward not just the people who minted during the 2-week fair launch. We'd like to reward the people who buy today. Somebody's going to buy $50, $100, $10,000 of Baby DragonX today. We want to create value for you ongoing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And honestly, like, sometimes with these protocols, you just gotta get in and do your thing and just get set up. And one thing that I'll recommend with Scale and Rune is to start off with a lower liquidity. So do something like a 5% ratio, because you can always add to it. So I would start off with like a 5%, because if you look at DragonX, and let me show you this, because everyone's everyone's like, yo, why is DragonX pumping so hard? And Eric basically did what Richard Hart did for Hex. And not many people are talking about this, but check this out. So it's $47 million market cap, and then 500K liquidity. Yep. So here's the thing about liquidity. So typically when we do meme coining and all that stuff, and shout out to my homie Goo God, we work really closely together trying to look at plays and stuff with meme coins. One thing we always look for is the liquidity to be somewhere between 5 and 10%. Now, what Richard Hart did with Hex was he took basically the token, added enough liquidity so that you don't get destroyed by slippage, and then you had the OA address own a majority of the tokens, so that when people come in, buy up the token starts to basically skyrocket because you have that low liquidity pump. And so what Eric did for DragonX was a very similar model. He kept the liquidity nice and thin, and then we have basically any buyers that come in, it really, really pushes up the chart. Now, most of you guys are probably saying like, oh, well, what happens if a whale comes in? They're going to get eaten up by slippage. That is very true. And the one thing I will say is once the token gets pushed up to a liquidity about $1 million, that's when you're going to see the big boys come in. You're going to see a lot of whales get into the DragonX protocol. So the idea is it's incentivizing the smaller guys to get in. And because so much money is coming in, it's going to cause these massive pumps. So that's the other reason why I love DragonX, because it just takes that theme from Hex, Pulse, and PulseX. James, you got any thoughts on that? I know I just went on a rant. So, okay.
I was just replying to TEDx, and I had to put it on mute there. I'm next to the Saigon River here in Vietnam, and there's a big ship that was going by. It was really, really loud, so I had to mute myself. Yeah, so on that one, we are very much interested in the Richard Hart model for Scale and or Rune. So we are going to, the first one that we launch is going to be a bit of an experiment. Everything is an experiment in crypto, as they say. But the first one is going to be even more so of an experiment. And we are going to be aggressive in the way we set up that liquidity. We want people to make money. We want lots of volume. We want people to make lots of X's. And we want all of it to benefit BDX and DragonX. So
love it.
I love what you've said there. Expect, I don't know if you actually are an official mentor, Chris, for different protocols, But we're going to be tapping on you and getting your thoughts because, like I said, every stream that you put out there, either I watch the live or I try to watch it. I try to watch the recording, and you're always talking about this kind of stuff. I learned from every stream you do. So when you find a person like that, you want to keep them close and get their advice and their opinions. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. If you want, I could be like a was it ambassador or something for Baby DragonX. Love you guys. You guys are a great community, man. So yeah, anytime you need a piece of information, always my DMs are open. And quick shout out to Hexa Titan Pulsikin. Great stream and great alpha. Don't forget, we still got DX and the BX buy and burn. That can always turn on if DX runs higher. We can start burning more. Absolutely. And that's what I really like about Baby Dragon X because you got some funds on the sideline. You could use it to build protocols. You could also use it to burn the Baby Dragon X token. So with that being said, you do have pump middles, and you also have some ammo to work with to continue to build out the protocol. So yeah, hey man, really do appreciate that $5 super chat. So yeah, man, I do agree. I think you guys are in a great ecosystem, and the one thing I know Eric is trying to do, he wants people to build on top of Dragon X. You know how we have build on Titan X and then we have build on Dragon X? That's what he's trying to do, and you guys were the first ones to do it. And now I know about 3 protocols that are doing the same exact thing. They're building on top of Dragon X, and we also got the launch of Hydra. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to get your thoughts on what do you think about Hydra?
I'll tell you, I wish I was more knowledgeable about Hydra. I've been so deep in getting this stuff done. I haven't got a chance to delve into it. I've only watched a few minutes of different streams when Eric is talking. I must get in there deeper. Whatever he builds is going to be solid. Like I that number one, I know that. So I need to get in there and I need to scour. I'm not sure if the white paper was already published. It probably was, or coming soon in a couple days. I need to get in there and really understand how it works because we want to help. We want to help every protocol he builds. So if the things that we launch, we're going to help DragonX. If there's a way we can learn from what they do in Hydra, whether it's timing or whether it's messaging, we want to learn from the way he does things. The way his viral marketing has really taken off. I've learned from him on viral marketing. I've got a tiny little X over there that I built up from nothing in 20. We got there to about 17,000 followers. I learned from him all the time, the way he engages with his community. He's funny at the right times. He's serious at the right times. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Eric, honestly.
I love it, man. Well, the one thing I'll say about Hydra is it's gonna really be beneficial to Baby Dragon X because I can speculate. I have some ideas because I see his tweets all the time and I see what they always put out. The stuff they put out is they said the word miner and then they talked about feeding the Dragon X vault. So you could easily figure out that hey, there might be some sort of miner you submit Titan X to. A portion of that Titan X is going to be sent to the Dragon X vault. A portion of that's going to be used to buy Dragon X, and then another portion of that might be for some type of staking, and maybe that buy Dragon X is used to burn the Hydra token. This is me spitballing. So what I'm thinking is you're going to see some extension of like what Hyper created in the Hydra protocol, and the idea is that Dragon X vault. How much Titan X can we get into that Dragon X vault? Because when you put it in there, all it does is it gets staked out and restaked. So it's basically a burn wallet address in theory. And it's just going to get more Ethereum coming in. So I think with the launch of Hydra coming right now, it's at a perfect opportunity. And then the next thing, X28. So this is where things get interesting. And I was thinking about this today. I'll put this out here because we got a lot of people on this live stream. And before I get into this next part, I want to say, guys, thank you for being in this live stream. Please share this live stream out. Hit the like button. Follow my boy James. Follow the verse. All that good stuff. Spread the good vibes and positivity. Now, we've got Hydra coming out. And then we also got X28. Now, the main feature with X28 is this concept of interoperability. You're going to have a token on 14 or 15 blockchains, but you have the opportunity to burn your Titan X stakes. So, James, think about this. You got Hydra coming in, feeding the vault, and then you have an opportunity to burn some Titan X stakes, and then we know day 369 is coming around the corner. Would you say that's a perfect storm?
It's more perfect than any perfect storm I could ever imagine. I literally don't think there's going to be enough zeros in our Rabby wallets and our MetaMask wallets to be able to handle this kind of stuff. There's going to be it's going to me it's going to be like 2021 again. In 2021, I was really super into GameFi. I was able to turn a couple $1,000s into $500,000 of digital assets for a bunch of gamers with Peg Axie and Axie Infinity and all this kind of stuff. The same thing is happening now with it, and it's not a house of cards. Titan X is not like those original play to earn games because there is fresh ETH coming in. There's real utility in here. There's actual taxes that are being redistributed, and the economic energy here is real. It's not a house of cards. It's not a Ponzi. Not at all. So yeah, perfect storm is a very good way to describe that. Could I add one thing, Chris?
Yeah, go for it, man.
As we're talking here, I tend to always leave one or two things out in a stream, and I think, why didn't I see that? So our dev is, we have a back end dev who's also pretty good at front end. He also does our website. So he is now currently creating a live view of our marketing wallet, of our future rewards wallet, and our grant wallet. Now you may think, all right, well, that's not that interesting. Anybody can do that. We are building Baby DragonX as kind of a portfolio meme coin. So say that we create some miners, like however Hydra works, we may invest in Hydra some miners. We may have our own liquidity pools that we pop down there. We may just buy and hold some tokens. The portfolio is going to be sitting on a portfolio page. Think about Smog and Tolkien. And Smog is sitting on that big treasure pile and all those treasure chests and the gold coins and the lanterns. Well, we're going to have a page like that where the portfolio that Baby DragonX controls is easily viewable anytime. That's what I wanted to leave you with.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. Hey, I love how you guys are doing this community interaction, and you're actually setting it up so that you have some funds that can be used to assist the protocol going down to the future. And I think the best part about it is the community involvement, because community is extremely important in these tokens. It's the lifeline, and it's also one of the reasons why you get these crazy pumps. So yeah, man, great breakdown. And you want to hear something else that's funny, James? You want to hear something else that's funny? I had the wrong branding for this live stream. I had the next layer branding. I didn't even put on the verse. So the whole time I was using different branding. I just noticed that.
It's hard to be famous. It's hard to be like kind of you're doing so many different things, Chris, that it's hard to keep track of which one you're in. I guess I didn't notice that myself.
Yeah. I'll give you a look. So like check this out. So this is hold on. Let me go down here. So this is the TNL background, and then this is the verse background. So yeah, so that was actually fun. I just noticed that, but yeah, awesome, man. Well, I mean, ultimately, just getting back to the stuff I'm talking about. Now that we got about 140 you guys in here, we're about to see
140.
Yeah, man. So we're about to see some crazy stuff hit with Titan X. To me, it seems like the perfect storm, because Inferno is about to go absolutely ballistic when that mint function gets turned off, and it's just a free protocol with that buy and burn. On top of that, September 15th, that's going to be the next big claim day. After that, the Titan X inflation goes down exponentially. Then we got Hydra coming out to fortify the DragonX vault and add some more value to DragonX. And then we got the expected launch of X28, which is going to add an insane amount of value to Titan X to bring it cross-chain. So there's so many bullish catalysts. I'm trying to keep up with everything. I just found out Titan X Bitcoin or Titan Bitcoin was a thing like 3 days ago. So I'm trying to keep it out in the loop. But the one thing I do know is James is building a great community. He's building a brand. They have funds. They're trying out new things, and they're building within the DragonX ecosystem. And I firmly believe the first protocols launched on top of Titan X are going to be the most lucrative. James, any last words, my man?
I'll tell you, I feel like you've said it all there, and you said it so well. I want to thank everyone for coming in here. We welcome you in the Baby DragonX community. Come on in, ask your questions, bring your ideas. We are always looking for fresh ideas, fresh viewpoints. People come in and help us with answering questions and moderating, creating content. We love it. We love to be this type of community built from the ground up. Whether you were with us 6 months and 10 or 12 days ago when we first launched, and there was only 55 of us, right? Back then, 55 of us. Whether you were back then or you came here or you came in today, you are a very important part of our community, and we'll welcome all of you.
Absolutely. And guys, please do me a favor. James, what's your X handle again?
So the JC Tech Future is my handle. Real Baby DragonX is our handle. Keep in mind, we kind of, how you lose access to things. Well, we lost access to the original Baby DragonX _. We lost access to that like 2 months ago. So we created a brand new one. Make sure if you tag us, it's Real Baby DragonX.
Awesome.
And check out our tweets. We got a pretty active community. In fact, sometimes they're too active. Sometimes they get in other people's streams and talk about Baby DragonX. We try to ask them, please don't do that. Don't do that.
I love it.
We had a little mishap there. We got a little too excited one time. So anyways, let's always be respectful. Pump the stream you're in. Let me just say that. Just pump the stream you're in.
I love it. I love it. Good stuff, man. Well, guys, please do me a favor. Follow him on all of his socials. Follow the verse. Share this live stream out so that more and more people can learn about Baby DragonX. I'm doing a quick roundabout with all these projects. Then I'm just going to go back to doing my bi-weekly live streams with my homie Trey Souls, because that's where I feel like I have the most impact and I can do the most damage in educating the community. So, like I said, guys, it was a great live stream, and we'll catch you guys the next one. Peace out, y'all.
Thanks, Al. Cheers.